What's up guys, welcome to the channel. Today on this video we'll be expanding the following expression that you see there underneath using binomial theorem. Now the expression that you see there, it's 1 over root 3a plus 1. So as you can see, we have fractions there guys. I've made videos on other fractions on other expressions, in fact, that we managed to expand using the theorem, and it was no fraction there. If you want to watch those videos, you must watch this one to the end, because there is a playlist whereby those videos are there. So this is actually part 4 of this playlist. So I also made videos on trigonometry. If you are new to this channel, you can go and watch those videos on the playlist section. I made a playlist and managed to group them all together according to their topics. So you're gonna watch whatever you need to want to know about when it comes to limits and trigonometry so far. All right, so today we're gonna do this expression. We're gonna expand to the fourth term. So I hope you guys are ready, because this one is a bit complex, and unlike others that we did before, this one, it needs you to simplify. So before we start, I would say pause this video, try to solve it. Of course, if you haven't watched the videos, it might give you some challenge, or if you don't know how to expand, it might have some challenge, some serious challenge. But if you have watched other videos and you have an idea what is binomial theorem is, I would say pause and try to solve this one, and then after solving it, unpause and see if you're gonna get the same answer. But hint, you need to simplify this one first. All right, so let's start guys, let's start. Before we start though, I would like to let you know guys, this will take a little bit longer, so we have to have time to pay attention, and I will really need you to pay attention when we do this one. So when you simplify, we need to take our numerator there, which is root 3a plus 1. We need to change it, and we need to take it to the numerator, and then we also need to change the root into exponent. So let's start by changing the root to exponent. Okay, let's do that. Now, first of all, the first step is you have to change the root here to exponent. So you're gonna have 3a plus 1 to the power of half. We know that the root is the same as exponent half, and then we're gonna take the denominator to the numerator, which is gonna be 3a plus 1. Right, now it's at the numerator, but when we do that, our exponent becomes negative, so it's going to be negative half. So this is actually the expression that we can now expand. It allows us to expand when it's like this. It's easy. So if I were to say, most of the time when we do this, I always recommend that write the formula of binomial theorem when we expand. There is a formula that we did on the first video, or part 1 of this playlist, that we used for expansion. So I made a video where I explained this formula and also I derive it. So if you don't know this formula, I'm gonna use it right now. I'm gonna write it here. I would say go and watch the video on the icon on top of this video, and then come back and continue with this, because if it so happens that you don't know the formula, you might get confused somewhere somehow here while we're still solving this problem. So what is the formula? Let me just write it very quickly. So it's going to be x plus h to the power of n. So when you expand, remember we will have to expand to the fourth term. So we have x to the power of n, then that's the first term. The second term is going to be n, and then it's going to be x to the power of n minus 1 multiplied by h. Okay, and then plus. Remember, plus and subtraction, those are the signs that separate the term. So we have term number 1 and term 2, and then we go to the third term. So the third term is going to be n, and then n minus 1, then we divide by factorial 2. Then we're going to have the following, which is going to be x to the power of n minus 2, and then h to the power of 2, plus, which is going, now we are heading to the fourth term. Now the fourth term is n, and then we have n minus 1 and n minus 2 divided by 3 factorial multiplied by x n minus 3 to the power of 3. So this is 4 terms: 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, the addition sign here separates the term. So this one here, the first term, this one is the second term, this one here is the third term, and this one here is the fourth term. Right, so to make your life easier, before you continue, if you don't know this formula, this is the formula I'm talking about, watch the video on top of this one here. Alright, so this is how we do the formula. So to make your life easier, again, so you have to look at our expression here. Look at this expression where I underline with the red line. So as you can see, x is going to be 3a, meaning wherever there is x in our expansion, we're going to substitute with 3a. Okay, now let's go back and let's check again on this equation or expression that with the red line. Now plus 8 plus 1, so meaning 1 is our h. There we go, 1 is our h. Then let's look at our exponent, which is negative half. So our exponent, which is n here, so n is going to be negative half. Guys, when it's like this, I find it easier for me to simplify this problem. Remember guys, this will take a little bit long, so you have to pay attention and also be patient with yourself and also me here on this video. But the next thing is you can pause and continue later on. Alright, so now let's start substituting, guys. Let's start substituting. Remember, the first term is x to the power of n. So what is our x in this case? Our x is 3a. And then what is our n? Our n is negative half. There we go. First term, simple. Done. Let's go to the second term. Second term. Now, second term, it's n. So what is our n? N is negative half. Let me just put it in the bracket so that we don't get confused. Negative half. Okay. Multiplied by x. What is our x? Our x is going to be 3a to the power of n minus 1. So what is n? N is negative half, and then minus 1. Then we have x. We have h, by the way. So h is going to be 1. So 1. Even if you don't write h here, since it's 1, so we're all fine. Now let's go to the third term. So the third term is a bit complex because it has a lot of things there. But we have n. So what is our n here? Our n is negative half, right? And what is multiplied by n minus 1? So it's going to be negative half minus 1. Okay, and then the factorial here is going to be 2 factorial. Okay, and then we have x. What is our x here? It's going to be 3a to the power of n minus 2. So n is half, minus half, by the way, minus 2. And then our h is 1 to the power of 2. So we are still fine. This is the third. This is our third term. Now let's go to our fourth term. It's gonna be more complex. Hope the space is gonna be enough though. So our third term, we have n, which is gonna be negative. Let me just move this bracket, it's a bit close, a bit far. There we go. This is our bracket. We have negative half, yes. Then it's gonna be multiplied by what? Multiplied by n minus 1. So it's gonna be negative half minus 1. Okay, close bracket. And then the last one is gonna be n minus 2. So it's negative half minus 2. There we go. And then this is divided by 3 factorial. So we have 3 factorial. And then our x, what is our x? Remember, x is 3a to the power of n, which is minus half minus 3. And then h is 1 to the power of 3. So guys, 1 is not that necessary, so you can leave it. As you can see guys, this is how it looks like. Now this is the part whereby a lot of people make a lot of mistakes. Don't worry, I also make mistakes here guys, so I'll try not to make those mistakes here. So be very careful guys. Okay, take your time when you do this one. So this one, the first term, we can leave it like that for now. For now we can say 3a to the power of negative half. Okay, now let's look at the second term. Now the second term, we have half multiply negative half multiplied by 3a to the power of negative half minus 1. So meaning we're gonna have negative here. Okay, subtraction. We're gonna have subtraction. So how are we gonna write it? I would say let's write it as half. This is gonna be 2, and then we know that this is gonna be 3a. Yes. Right. So what about the exponent? Is negative half minus half, which is gonna be 1.5. So what is 1.5? It's gonna be 3 over 2, but negative. All right. So multiply by h. So h is really not that important, guys. It's just 1. So you don't have to stress yourself about this one. How about the third term? Now let's look at the signs on the third term. So if we say half, multiply negative half multiplied by negative, this is going to be negative inside this bracket. Negative half minus half, so it's going to be negative. So negative and negative, they're going to give you positive when you multiply them. So this is going to be positive. Now let me just come here very quickly guys. When you put this on your calculator, make sure that this one here is not part of the calculator, because this is your x, and also it's affected by the exponents here. So you can put negative half over 2 multiplied by negative half over 2, negative 1 over 2 minus 1 divided by 2 factorial. So when you do that, you put that on your calculator, the answer that you're going to get here is going to be 3 over 8. But then now let's multiply with our 3a. So our 3a, we have negative half minus 2, and that is 2.5. How do we represent 2.5 in fractions? It's going to be minus 5 over 2. There we go. There we go. Now let's go to the last term. Now before we write the sign, let's look at the signs here. So we have negative half multiplied by negative half minus 1. So this is the one that give you positive when you multiply them. And then we multiply this bracket here, which is also negative. So this is going to be negative, guys. Do you see? Negative half, open bracket, multiplied by negative half minus 1, which is going to give us positive, multiplied by, open bracket, multiplied by negative half minus 2, which is going to give us a negative sign. So we have negative sign here. So I repeat again here, make sure that when you substitute these things or when you insert these numbers here, make sure that 3a is not part of it. Okay, so all this divide by 3 factorial. To save your time, rather use your calculator, guys. Okay, By the way, 3 factorial, this is more like 6. This is 2. 2 factorial is equal to 2. So save your time and use calculators, guys. All right. So when we use our calculator, this becomes negative 5 over 16. There we go. Negative 5 over 16. Now, what about 3a? So 3a, if we minus here, let's look at our exponent. It's going to be negative half minus 3. So this is going to be 3 and half. So in terms of fraction, 3 and half is going to be 7 over 2. But don't forget, this is going to be a minus. So this is the one here, guys. So this is your answer, but this is not the final answer. Remember, when you leave your answers, make sure that your exponents are positive. I would say, in fact, leave it in a sad form, right? I did that on the previous video, so you can also go and watch this previous video where I left it in a sad form. So let's continue. Now let's look at this here. Now this one here is gonna be 1 over 3a to the power of half. Remember, we're going to change the sign of the exponent. The number or the expression that is affected or affected by the exponent should go to the denominator when it's at the numerator. So it's going to be like that. So minus, we have 2 here. So it's going to be 1 divided by, we have 2, and then we have 3a to the power of 3 and power of 3 over 2. Now this 3 over 2 is positive because that 3a is on the denominator now. Then we say plus, right? So we're going to be left with 3 on the numerator, right? And then we're going to have 8 here, and then this is going to be 3 to the power, or 3a to the power of 5 over 2. Right, so far so good. So far so good. And then this one minus, so we're going to be left with 5 on the numerator, and then we have 16 here, and this is going to be 3a to the power of 7 over 2. Remember, these exponents are now positive, right? So this, you can leave it like that. If they don't say anything, that you should leave it in a sad form, but if they do say, leave it in a sad form. Now this is gonna be 1 over root 3a. That's it. This one, simple as that. And this one here is gonna be 1, and then we have 2, and then we have root, and then 3. In fact, let's just multiply by 3. All right, before we do that, let's look at our fraction, our exponent as a fraction there. Guys, be very careful when you come across the exponent that is fraction. The denominator is always the root and the numerator is the power. So it's like 3 to the power of 3. 3 to the power of 3 is gonna give you 27, and then a to the power of 3. And then say plus, or you can use your calculator. And then this one is gonna be 3, right? So this one here is gonna give you what? Let me just grab my calculator. Obviously we're gonna have this 8 here, and then we're gonna have root. Remember, the numerator is 2, so this is gonna be root. And then what is 3 to the power of 5? 3 to the power of 5. Let's put it in a calculator. Let's put it on a calculator. 3 to the power of 5. What we get? We get 243. So it's gonna be 243, and then a to the power of 5. So that's what you get. Minus, and we have 5, and then there we go. We have 16 here, and then root. Remember, the reason why it's root is because the denominator on the expression here is 2, guys. There the power is 2. So what is 3? Remember, in the numerator is power. So what is 3 to the power of 7? 3 to the power of 7 is going to be 2187, and then that's going to be a to the power of 7. So guys, this is your final answer. But does this mean that this is our actual final answer? No. You can change this. You can change this. You can continue. So guys, I told you this is gonna be one of the longest. On the last video I didn't continue, I stopped here. So you can continue and try to leave everything to the power of and everything to root 3a. Now let's see if we try to leave this in terms of root a. Remember, root 3a. Remember, this is more like what is root 27? Root 27, you're gonna have 3 root 3. So that 3 is gonna be 2 multiplied by 3, and then we have 3. Okay, you're gonna have 3a to the power of 3. Okay, that's basically it. Or we can do it this way. Oh, this is very interesting. Let me just go back. Guys. Let me just go back. We can do it this way. You can have a, and then you can say this is gonna be 3a. Yes. The reason why we have a, if we do this, guys, let me just write here. Remember, this is, if we say 2, a to the power of 2, and a, this is 3 to the power, it's a to the power of this is a to the power of 2. So we know that square root of a2, square root of a squared is going to be a, and then we left with a. So I hope you can see where this 3a comes from. Now let's continue. Plus, now we have 3 here. Okay, and then we have 8. So what is the you put this on your calculator again, you will have 243, which is going to be multiplied by 9. But what about the a? So the a is going to be a here, but then here you're going to be left with oh, it's going to be squared, by the way, and here you're going to be left with 3a. There we go. Oh, this is very interesting, guys. Some of you wondering, how does the a squared come from? Look, guys, if we say a to the power of 4 multiplied by a, that is a to the power of 5. But what is the square root of a to the power of 4? So it's going to be a squared. Hence, we have a squared there. Okay, I hope you can follow through, guys. I hope you can. I know this is making it to be longer, but it's very, very interesting. All right, so let's continue. Now let's go to the last one. The last one, then we are almost done. So, oh, I forgot the a here, guys. Oh, there is the a. Looks like a number, but this is a, by the way, guys. So we have 16, and then 16 multiplied by. So if you put that number, which is 2187 on the square root, you will have 27. So 27. Then let's look at a. So a is gonna be a to the power of let's say 3. There we go. And then this is gonna be root, it's gonna be root 3a. Again, this one is quite confusing. If you say a, and then you say multiplied by a to the power of 6, and then the root of the root of a to the power of 6 is 3a. So you're gonna be left with a. Okay, so this is our answer, but we are not done. We need to multiply the answers outside. So let's continue. Can we continue, guys? So the final answer, because this one is gonna be root 3a minus, so it's gonna be 1 over What is 2 multiplied by 3? This is gonna give us 6a and then root a. There we go. There we go. Plus, let's do this. Now this is gonna be a big number. What is 8 multiplied by 9? Which is gonna give us 72. This is gonna be 72 a squared and then 3 root a. Okay, root 3 root a. Okay, minus. Now what is 16 multiplied by 27? Right, this is gonna give you okay, let's say 5 here. So this is gonna give you 432, and then root to the power of 3, a to the power of 3, and then we have 3 root a. So guys, this is actually simplified like this. I know it takes longer, but guys, this is how you do it. But you could have stopped here. I think it's still fine. You could have stopped here. I think it's also fine. Guys, by the way, this is how you expand these expressions. If it so happen that you come across this one, I hope you can able to follow through, can able to solve it. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe and also to comment if you like this or the simpler way of doing this problem. If it so happen that you didn't understand, you can also ask on the comment section, and do not forget to share a simpler way, or I did mention that one. Do not forget to share this to your friends as well. So till next time guys, if you want to watch these videos all together in sequence, go to the end of this video. There will be a playlist that is showing. Go to that playlist and click and watch from part 1 until this one here. Thank you very much guys for watching. Till next time, cheers.